So today we're going to be adding a blog to your Pretty Dashboard website. So we first just want to add the blog page itself. So we will go to add new page and click blog. And if you've already added the blog, then it will not show up here. And if you want to start over, just go in here, delete the blog, and then go through with that add new part of it. Now that we've got this blog page added, and this is just your main blog homepage, I guess you could call it. It's just by clicking on this blog after you've added it, it'll bring you to this page. So we are going to first get the settings set up, and as I always do, I like to get the general housekeeping out of the way first to make sure everything's set up how we want it, and we can add in the posts and everything later. So we're just going to click the settings and we'll take care of a few of these things. So you can choose the layout of your blog. This is the typical layout, the blog with the sidebar. The few posts with the sidebar, you can choose just large images. You could choose medium images with the sidebar, no sidebar. You could do masonry with no sidebar. You could do masonry with the sidebar. So it's really just your preference. I typically like just the regular blog layout. I may use the image one. We'll kind of see how I feel. But for now, I like this typical normal blog layout. Now, the navigation, this is going to be either a load more button, which is as you scroll down, it'll say load more, and it'll just load more pages without going to another page. And that's typical of a normal website, modern website now. So I'll probably stick with that. But you can also choose pagination, which just says like go to the next page, go to the next page, go to the next page. So we're going to keep it as load more button. You can also add share buttons, which I definitely recommend. You do want people to find this, so you want people to share your blog posts, get links places, get higher up in the Google search, and get loads of fucking traffic. That's what we want. So you can also enable Disqus comments if you have a Disqus account, but there is built-in commenting already, so you don't necessarily need that. But if you like the features that Disqus has, you can check that out and add that as your native comments instead of our built-in one. And you can also just send a notification on a new comment. So put your email in here, not anyone else's. So it'll just let you know when someone's left a comment. That way you can go and reply to that comment, because the faster you reply, the more engagement you have and the more chances you'll get found in Google. And it'll just make the person also commenting just happy that you replied quickly, so they may comment again and you can keep this going or just create a relationship. So I won't check that for now, and I'm going to use the native comments built-in feature, so I don't want to use Disqus. So we'll save that, and we'll actually just quickly go to the settings for the actual blog page. So this is where you could put a different URL if you didn't want it to say blog. You can make it password protected, members only. So if you've watched other videos where you can set up members, you could make it so that maybe there's certain blog pages that you only want your course students or your masterclass students or whatever to access. So you can put updated information in a blog post instead of creating new pages all the time, and you can make it members only. So for example, your course students could only access that blog post and no one else could see it. So that's pretty cool. And you can also, as always, as on any other page, you can edit the SEO for this main blog page, and then you can also go in and edit the SEO of each post as well, so you can really get targeted for search engines. So got the settings done. Now we're going to move on to editing the header and the sidebar of your blog. So to edit your header and sidebar, just click this button, edit header and sidebar. So as you can see, it's a part of the whole builder, so you can use all the widgets and everything you would as on your main website. So this is just the basic header and the basic sidebar, and then the layout you chose will be right here when we preview the site. So you can basically just add whatever you want here into the widgets. You could add pictures, you could add anything that a widget can be placed in here. So you could add a quiz, you could add galleries, you could add a checkout in here if you wanted to. You can pretty much put anything here that you want. And this again is personal preference. I'm gonna leave this how it is for right now because I'm not using a blog on Pretty Dash yet. So when I do, I'll probably end up changing this and putting pictures there and calls to action and things to get into, my world. But we'll edit the header a teeny bit. I'm going to move this down a little bit because the way that I have my header set up, everything kind of goes up towards the top. And so I don't want this to get cut off by the menu and everything that I have on my header. So I'm going to move this down, and I may end up editing it later. So we'll change the background color of this quickly just to what I normally like. You know, we'll edit the title, and you can do whatever you want. You can put pictures in here, you can put a background image, you could put any widget, again, that you see here into your header of your blog. So we'll probably center this, and then we'll probably be good for now. And as I said, I'm not making a blog for Pretty Dash yet, so I will come back and edit this how I want it. But I just wanted to show you that you could go in here and edit exactly how you want it to look. So if you chose the layout that has no sidebar, you'll only see this box down here that will show, you know, what you chose as the layout. But if you do have a sidebar, you're able to put whatever you want in there. So we'll save that. And then we will move on, and we'll add some posts in there, just test posts, so you can see kind of how the layout looks and everything. All right, so let's add some quick posts just so we can populate the blog a little bit. So you can choose from an image, a gallery, a video, a quote, or none, and it just be a regular post. So we're gonna do an image post so you can see how that's gonna look, and we'll just use a random image from my gallery here. And we'll put test blog title here, and we'll kind of just leave all the rest of this. And now this is the summary. This is going to be like the excerpt that will show on the blog list page. So instead of showing the entire text, which you can do, but if you want just, you know, like maybe 30 words to show and then them have to click through to go view the whole blog post, this is where you would put that there. And then of course, this is just the regular text of the blog. And as you can see, you can add blocks to your actual blog posts and widgets, which makes this completely customizable, and you can give them an extremely customized experience for your blog even. That's what we're all about here with Pretty Dash. Everything is to give your customer a unique experience. So even on the blog, you could create different experiences. You could have call out buttons. You could have an entire section there if you wanted to. You could have buttons. You could have, you know, anything. You could put a checkout on this page, but you could really get, you know, customized to whatever you are trying to do with this blog post. Like whatever the goal of this blog post is, you can really focus on doing something different. So before we update this, we're going to add in the settings, and there's just a few settings for the post if you want. You can have it show the sidebar if you want. You could have it show the header or not, either of those or not. You could have a gallery as your featured image. You can enable comments or disable them. You can have it so you have to approve the comments. And you can also add the share buttons per post. So on the regular blog settings, we had it set as this, but you can also choose to do it per post. So that's pretty cool. You can also add tags to this post, so when people search, they can find it. You can add categories, which you have to do. So let's just make a test category of website, and we'll add that as the category. You can change the post URL, you can change the author name, and you can change the post date. So just wanted to do a few of those settings. We have to pick a category or it won't let us update anyway. So we'll click update, and we are good to go with that post. So we'll go ahead and add another post just for good measure. So let's add a quote post, and you can put the quote in here. So we'll put random quote goes here, and that'll be the quote post. So we'll type in test quote post here. Here's the summary, here's this. Let's just add a block just so you can see what that looks like. So we'll add a cute little call to action here. So see how you can really get focused here. You could add images, you could add videos. It's really, really fun, and you can do the same thing that you do on the builder, but on your actual blog posts, which is pretty freaking awesome. So we'll go to the settings real quick to make sure we have everything how we want it. We'll add another category. We'll just say funnels, because eventually I am going to be making a blog for Pretty Dash, so that will be a category. So we'll kind of leave that how it is. We'll update it, and we will go back to all posts. So now that we've added the posts, let's go view what this is looking like so far. So as you can see, this is the header I was talking about, and I'll probably move that spacing a little bit more. And then here's the layout of the blog. I picked the typical blog layout. So you see, you know, the quote, you see the title, you see the information, and you see the summary. This is the excerpt that I was talking about. And then you can click read more and go see the post that we just created. So We'll go back and then we'll do the same thing for this one. So this one was just a regular post with an image. And so you can click, the test title, or you can just go click read more. And again, you can see how that looks. So you can edit the sidebar however you want. You can edit the header however you want. And then here are the comments. So you could submit a comment. Invalid email. Let's add a valid email so you can actually see what this looks like. So I had it set to be approved first, so that's why it says awaiting moderation, but you can take that setting off by just going back to the post settings. So just go into here again and unclick the comments approval, and then it'll just get posted automatically. So you can choose either or with what you want to do with that. So now that you know how to set up your blog and how to kind of structure it however you want and add different things to your blog pages and use the builder for all of that, I'm actually going to show you how to add a blog widget to your other pages. So let's go back to just a random page, and I've been using a random editing page for tutorials, so don't mind all the random blocks in here. But we'll add a blog widget so you can see how that's added. So we'll have this blank column or blank section here. We'll go to the add widget section, and then we will go to blog. So this can be placed on any page. And so this is basically just kind of showing a blog collection. If you wanted to have like this on your actual blog pages as well, you could do that with and it would be like one of those read more sections that you've seen on some blogs. So you could do that. You could do it by recent posts, you could do it by most popular categories, and you can do it by most popular tags. You can choose specific categories. So if you wanted, if you were on a certain page or in a certain funnel, you could have specific categories showing. So that way you're not showing all of the blog categories. You may just want to show website, You can show post image and description. So as you can see, this is what that does. And then you can edit it further. So you can make it a large image. So you make it look like that. You can make it a masonry layout, which is more like that style. You could have navigation or not. So you could have a load more button. And since we only have 2 posts, you're obviously not going to see the load more button. You can add share buttons right here, so that way people can share them, or you can completely take them away. So it's really up to you how you want to do it. You could have a certain amount of number of items to show. So if you only wanted 1, then only one of those would show, the most recent one. So we'll just leave it at 2 since we have 2. But as you can see, you can add a cute little blog section to your website. So again, just get a blank section, go into your widgets, and add the blog widget. And that's it. So I hope this helped you guys. I'm sure some of you have been wondering how to add in a blog to your Pretty Dashboard. So now you know. Hopefully you learned something from this. If you need help, do not hesitate to reach out to hello@prettydash.co or just comment on the YouTube. But if you would like to keep seeing more tutorials or just me going live every week, on Saturday I go live and I build out websites on Pretty Dashboard from scratch. Definitely subscribe, rate this, do all the YouTube things. That way I can show up and we can slay the beauty website game. All right, guys, have a good day.